you so obsessed called?
Hello. We are going to be starting here very, very shortly. In about 6 minutes, we will be starting this. We're going to be trying to make it real America, making it real for once. It says real again. It just says making America real. Because if you want to get technical about it, it's pretty damn fabricated if you ask me. I always knew it was too. But we're going to be touching in on a lot of different people. Because a lot of stuff happened, apparently. We fixed all my stuff and muted everything earlier. Alright, there we go. Alright. We are going to be. I gotta actually change the title of this. I'm not gonna change it. Anyways, what's this about? We're gonna touch on a couple different things. We might be here a while, more than likely. I was gonna do this the other day, but then I just got busy. Got busy. It's garden season, right? It's garden. It's time to start the gardens. Um, Apparently Trump let out some tweet or something. I don't know. I don't use that platform. But we'll be right back here in about 3 minutes, and we'll get the show on the road. All right. Apparently, Mr. President Donald J. Trump, apparently he did this. This is on this truth stuff that he does. I don't know anything about it. It says, this is like a hate speech thing, I guess. It says, I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years, especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the number one state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon because they have one thing in common: low IQs. They're stupid people. Stupid. They know it. Their families know it. And everyone else knows it too. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't have what it takes. They don't have the cards. He's always telling people about cards. They never did. They've all been thrown off television, lost their shows, and aren't even invited on TV because nobody cares about them. They're nut jobs troublemakers. And will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. Now, they think they get some clicks because they have third-rate podcasts, but nobody's talking about them, and their views are the opposite of MAGA. MAGA makes no sense, okay? Make America Great Again. Here, let me move me so you guys can actually see what... Actually, I can just move this, and you guys can read it this way. Here we go. There we go. Yes. Okay. Get all this shit so it's situated. Okay. Now, where were we? Third-rate podcast. Nobody's talking about them. Or I wouldn't have won the presidential election in a landslide. MAGA agrees with me. Oh, first of all, MAGA makes no sense because America, first of all, it's never been great. When has it ever been great? Explain that to me. Like, in what aspect do you mean great? That's. All right, let's listen. And just gave CNN a 100% approval rating of Trump. What does this mean? MAGA agrees with me and just gave CNN a 100% approval rating of Trump. Who gave CNN an approval rating? MAGA did? Let's look this up. By the way, I just searched this and this is where this came from. This is what he posted apparently. Okay. Let's just check. Okay. Actually, let's go back. What's this? That's just Donald Trump's approval rating hits a second term low. This is 2025. Okay. This is the economist. This is January 22nd. Okay. Let's see. Who does this consist of though? Who do you guys think this consists of? Do you see this is the thing. I think Team TP USA is the majority of this rating. What do you guys think about that? I truly think that that's what they're basing it off of, is their rating solely. Reports indicate 90% of more MAGA Republicans approve of Trump's actions, including 9%, 92% supporting military action in Iran. In what aspect? I don't know any Trump supporter right now that even supports him at all. That was supporting him. Like I don't understand where these numbers come from. Let's go to AI and debate it real quick. National and thematic approval. President Trump's approval ratings come from several. I don't believe in statistics to begin with because there's not very many people involved when it comes to doing the study researches. Like usually it's just a school, a big time school like Harvard or Yale or whatever, and then after that it's not very many people. It's like one student body and then that's it. They're like, "Oh, this is the studies." Yeah, by one school. That's it. But it's a good school. That means nothing. That means absolutely nothing. That's what makes Nick Fuentes so popular is because he goes by the regional statistics and they're not good at all, I'll tell you that. Right here it says national and thematic settings. It says CNN poll conducted by March 26th to 30th found that approval for Trump's handling of the economy fell to a career low of 31%, so now it's lower. Record a national approval of 33%. It looks like he has a really bad negative 19, down 3 points since last week. 56% disapprove, 7% not sure. These are the numbers. What website is this? This is the Economist for free, okay? And this is the interactive Trump approval tracker. This is a legit thing by the Economist, by Singapore. Okay. So that's terrible. Here's another report. President Trump's approval sinks to 33% in new UMass poll. What year is this? It says 17% of 2024 Trump voters now express reservations about their vote choice. Yeah, like everybody I know, they didn't. They wish they didn't. It's gotten, but this is the thing. Both sides of both parties are messed up. Okay, because both of them blackmail one another, playing games with each other, while everybody else sits here and just struggles and gets treated like basically bantam fodder, like sheeps. And they play games. And they're not the ones really running the show either. They're just actors, you know. And the ones that are running the show, they just, they let them do so much until they become a real big problem and then they get rid of them. Or they send them off somewhere and then they hide or whatever. What's all this? This is Reuters, okay? Trump's approval hits new 36% low as fuel prices surge amid Iran war. This is March 24th. This is last month. I'll tell you what, right now, it has not changed. If anything, it's gotten worse because the war is still going on. The Strait of Hormuz, or however you say it, it's still closed. So there's still no gas flow. So there's that. What else is there? Non-MAGA Republicans. The Fox News poll showed approval among non-MAGA Republicans dropped 11 points. I don't believe in any of this shit because this means absolutely nothing. If you were to ask Fox News, where'd you get your poll from? They'd be like, well, we conducted it from one resource. How many people were involved? It would be barely anybody, maybe a couple thousand if you're lucky. When I say a couple thousand, I mean usually no more than 5,000. Most of these studies aren't done with very large bodies. Independent CNN and Fox News report that approval among political independents has hit new lows ranging between, because you got to think about it like this. If you go on these channels, especially their YouTube channels, their views and their likes and the comments on CNN, on Fox, on all these channels, if you go look at the comments yourself, they're terrible. If you were still able to see the dislike counter in YouTube like we used to be able to way back in the day, you would see how bad everything is. All right, let's finish reading this real quick. So everything he's saying is a complete lie. And the funny thing is when you look it up like this is lying too. This is legit lying. Why is this lying? Because we just looked at all the stuff in AI mode and it literally told us. Where's the numbers from? Core MAGA. Who's MAGA? Who's MAGA? It says it consists of 27%. Where's the proof of this? I know people that are personally MAGA. I mean, die hard Trump supporters, MAGA all the way, baby. And they're not anymore. They don't even want to talk about it. They'll agree with it, with what's going on. They'll be like, yes, they understand, but they're not for it. It says the result. The MAGA group stays at 100% always because anyone who disagrees with Trump is no longer considered MAGA by the poll's own criteria. So it always stays at 100% approval rating. To see how this works. So MAGA is completely doesn't exist, people. If you see people online claiming MAGA, they're just the small bunch. Because I don't see very many MAGA people online at all anymore. Even in the MAGA groups, these people have turned against the MAGA groups. And a lot of MAGA groups are gone now. They don't exist because they've gone and looked at the files themselves. People don't go by the narrative. You guys gave it all to us for us to look at. People actually went and looked at it. There's millions of people that had access to it. What did you guys think was going to happen? And then they're using AI and they're smarter than all of you leaders and stuff, leaders running the show, at least thinking you are. So this is the true reason it's always at 100%. Is because if you go against them, they automatically kick you out of the club. You're out of MAGA. You're not part of MAGA. Says approval rating around 59%. Significant drop from previous. I don't trust Fox at all. Trust any of the mainstream shit. You can't. You really can't. And that's a real thing. The mainstream just said that it's 100%. And then we found out in reality, and AI told us this is why it stays at 100% constant, is because Trump control. Basically, MAGA people control who's in MAGA and who isn't. And the minute they go against MAGA, they're basically kicking themselves out of MAGA, right? MAGA. Who created MAGA? Who created MAGA? Did he create it? Used by Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush to address high unemployment and inflation. Smithsonian Institution. It's been used by a lot of people. It's not like Trump created this. Trump trademarked? Oh my goodness, of course he did. Trump's gonna make money off of it, even though he didn't create it. It's been around since 1980. It's pretty much irrelevant at this point. I'll say that. MAGA's pretty much it's done. It's been done since January, I'll tell you that. There's a couple people still trying to hang on. I mean, Tucker's trying to hang on, I think. I don't know. Anyways, I wanted to check out a few things. I didn't even want to deep dive on that. Anyways, let's finish reading this. CNN 100% rating of Trump. It's not CNN that we just proved this wrong. CNN said it's terrible. The only people that said MAGA agrees with me and just gave CNN. MAGA can't give you anything, first of all. Who is MAGA to give anything? MAGA, we just figured out what MAGA is. It's always going to be 100%. CNN gave you a terrible rating by the reality of truth. You're giving yourself a 100% rating. This is weird. This is when a president's literally dictating his own approval rating. And they're like, well, we have our own rating, and you're totally off, buddy. By more than 0.5%. 56%. It's pretty bad. All right. It says, not hand flailing fools like Tucker Carlson, who couldn't even finish college. He was a broken man when he got fired from Fox. He has never been the same. Perhaps he should see a good psychiatrist. Or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me the now famous Only Rosie O'Donnell question, or Crazy Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected First Lady of France of being a man. What does that have to do with any of this? What does that have to do with us? What does that have to do with America? You know, I never really got into Candace. I don't really have anything against her. Had a slight opinion of her just because I feel like she just For a while there, she was just doing nothing but seemed like drama, and mostly because of this thing that he just brought up. Like her show was basically drama, 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 drama. I'll be right back. I gotta grab my coffee. All right. Okay. Rosie O'Donnell questioner. Crazy Candace Owens. First Lady of France being a man. I don't know. I saw I saw the whole Candace thing regarding that. I didn't really see that first. I saw the clip on the news actually about the guy getting smacked by his wife, which was her. And then all of a sudden, Candace started talking about her, and I was like, well, it or they or the wife, first lady, whatever you want to call them. When she is not and will hopefully win lots of money in the ongoing lawsuit. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is far more beautiful woman than Candace. In fact, it's not even close or bankrupt Alex Jones, who says some of the dumbest things and lost his entire fortune as he should have for his horrendous attack on the families of the Sandy Hook. What is the? That's so old. Why bring that up? That happened so long ago. Like, why is he bringing up all this old stuff? Sounds like this doesn't sound like Trump. This sounds more like Pan Bondi, doesn't it? You can tell that he actually didn't say this. This is all AI written. It's too punctual to begin with. He ain't gonna punctualize us anything like this. AI wrote this. He's probably got his own AI algorithm program set up for this. There's no way that he's doing this himself. I can't see him on a computer. I can't see him on a phone. I would love for anyone to hand him his phone and be like, why don't you tweet us something live? Come on, let's see it. See if he even knows how to use a damn smartphone. I bet he doesn't. I bet he goes, okay. Where's the button to turn it on? What do you guys think? Have you ever seen him with one? No, I haven't. Ever. I bet you if you Google, just go to images. Look at him look at it like he doesn't know what the hell he's looking at. This is not how you use a smartphone. Look at him look at it. Rejects tougher phone security. Look at him. He looks amazed by it, don't it? How long ago was this? This looks like someone who's never seen a damn smartphone before, isn't it? look at him. He's like, yes, daddy, look at my toy I brought with you. Look at him sitting there staring at his phone. What's he staring at? Don't tell me he's obsessed with his phone. Look at him here on his little stupid flip phone. I got a phone. Maybe he does know how to use a phone. I don't know. Why is he looking at it like he's never looked at it like us? Like he's never used smartphone. He's like, did I say this? When did I say this? My AI me said this? I have no idea. It might be like that. I mean, these are collecting who you are and basically going to give you back like how you talk to it. It's going to process your personality and basically program itself to be like you, basically. Oh. All right, here we go. Alex Jones. These so called people are losers, and they always will be. Now, fake news CNN. Didn't he just said that CNN approved his rating? And now he's calling CNN fake news? Wait a second. You can't say you can't start this with I just gave CNN a 100% approval rating of Trump. Meaning what exactly? And then down here you're like fake news CNN. So I think you're just fake news, Trump, at this point. And MAGA doesn't exist. It's Mara. Make America real again. Okay? That's the new movement. If you want to have a movement at all, it's Mara. All right, there we go. Gotta change the title real quick. All right, let's read. Failing New York Times and all other radical left news organizations are hailing them. Giving them positive press for the first time in their lives. They're not MAGA. They're losers. Just trying to latch on to MAGA. As president, I could get them on my side anytime I want to. But when they call, I don't return their calls because I'm too busy on world and country affairs. And after a few times, they go nasty, just like Marjorie Trader Brown. I don't know who that is. But I no longer care about that stuff. I only care about doing right for our country. MAGA is about winning and strength and not allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons. Why is it always about Iran and nuclear weapons? You know? You just had to throw Iran in there, just for no reason. All right. MAGA is about making America great again. And I would love to see a time in history when we were actually considered great anywhere worldwide or any great way to ourselves and to the nation and to Earth or to anything, you know. That's the thing. We don't have control of what happens in this country. We never did. So it pretty much is what it is. The United States is now the hottest country anywhere in the world by President Donald J. Trump. I made you guys all popular because now everybody hates you like they hate me. Yeah, you sure did. And you made everybody think that they're just like you when they're not. That's the thing. There ain't no reset coming. I don't know what they're doing. People go out all the time. They say that you're not a representation of the United States people. I'm sorry, you're not. You're not a representation of me. I don't vote. Never have. Because the system's broken. There's no point of voting. It's just a cheap way to cycle money around, really. Rip people off, make them think that they're actually doing something. It's all controlled by a two-party system. That's literally one party behind the scenes. And it's not even a party within this nation. So there it is. And all they do is take turns blackmailing one another. So hmm. The whole system's broken. It just needs abolished at this point, and then it needs started from a real ideology for a new nation because that's what it was supposed to be, was a new nation, right? It was supposed to be a founding new nation, and it never was because the entire system here is structured after Europe's stupid, flawed, stolen lineage structure that they Zion conquered. Okay, that all the stuff in the Bible conquered, and now they're like, well, we're the basically the people in the Bible. Yeah, yeah, you basically are. It's not a good thing to claim. You're basically telling us about how you genocided the entire planet. Thanks. You killed all of our ancestors. For what reason? Because you think you're better than everybody else. That doesn't make any sense. And I'm not talking about the Jews. And I'm not even talking about Israel. That's just a cover up story. It is. It's all a cover up story. Anyways, he said all this. I guess Candace Owens already responded, apparently. Candace Owens. And I have not done anything on Candace Owens yet. And I have been talking about wanting to. An open letter to President Donald Trump. My response to what? I I mean, I have nothing against her. I just think that I don't know, she plays hiding. She plays peek. She doesn't. I don't know what she does now, but she played a lot of peekaboo with everybody, like catching everybody at the edge of your seat. And the thing is what do you? I understand that maybe this is your platform. You're trying to make money. What are you doing with it? I don't know. You got a lot of subscribers, almost 6 million now, and it's not like you're hurting for money. You know what I mean? Your husband's super rich, comes from very rich lineage. You have money. Like, there's no way this is bringing in that much revenue, leaving people on the edge of their seat. I think people are tired of playing the games. The thing is people put out these big long videos, hours and hours long, and a lot of it's just, unnecessary talking. Sometimes. Not all the time. I'm not saying she's unnecessarily talking, but if she's responding to an open letter, everything we just read, if that's what this is, it must be.
Are nut jobs, troublemakers, troublemakers.
I should have just let her read it.
And they will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. Now they think they can get some clicks because they have third-rate podcasts, but nobody's talking.
What is Candace gonna say about this? I have not reacted to Candace on my podcast.
On that election portion right there first, because it is right. Let's just have won the presidential election in a landslide. Okay, let's park it there. Right. Let's just chew on that portion right there first, because it is a stunning break from reality. Because I'll ask the question, do you have any idea why it was, Mr. President, that your old tweets, the sentences you used to say, which were typically definitely insults back in 2000, they were Rosie O'Donnell?
This is the thing. I don't know. I personally don't want to hear all this banter back and forth. This is childish to me. You don't have to bring her up. Oh my gosh, we don't have to talk about all this.
Like that, you just demonstrate nothing to do Fox News hits. Do you understand this? He is not trying to get on CNN. None of us are. I don't know how else to help you to get to do Fox. You're launching insults at what you don't comprehend is technologically advancing. Yet you're launching insults at what you don't comprehend. Joe Rogan is not going to do Fox News hits. Do you understand this? He is not trying to get on CNN. None of us are. I don't know how else.
Did he say that? He kind of did.
To help you understand. You are quite literally mocking people because they comprehend something that you don't. Tucker Carlson is more powerful than you. Deep down, I think you know that. And
I don't know about that. Her saying that is outlandish. He's more powerful in what aspect, Candace? Because he has followers, because you think people listen to him more? The thing is Tucker has already admitted that he's an older man. He's almost 60, isn't he? He's an older gent. If you want to call him that, whatever. He has a family. He just wants to live in a country and see the country he was grown and raised up in, be the right way. I think that's what Tucker actually wants. And then, wouldn't it be nice if things were nice and he could just be like, you know what? Finally ending my podcast because things are they seem normal again. And I don't mean normal like they went back to a different way. I mean normal again to the point where things make sense again. And I don't mean again as going backwards. You can't get anywhere in life going backwards. Let's just put it that way. But in the aspect of what has been hidden in history's lineage and the past turned into mythology with intellect being there, because nobody wanted to be like, well, our ancestors were actually smarter than us and we don't know what happened. That's the reality of the truth. You guys don't know what happened. Some of us do now. I do. God told me. God tells me everything now. But the thing is for her to say he's more powerful than you. Does he have a better supporting when it comes to positivity? Yes. Is he more powerful? No. The thing is what do you classify as being powerful, Candace?
I think you resent that.
That's the thing. What do you define as this word powerful you're using? When it comes to making money and financial decisions, no, Tucker is not in any league with Trump being more powerful than him when it comes to being a businessman, okay? When it comes to being anything that involves money, Trump blows anybody out of the water, you know, to certain extents. Is he? Kind of. When it comes to being a decent leader, when it comes to, that's the thing, she shouldn't have said powerful. She should have used the word leader. He's a better leader than you are, and you know that. But that's the thing, Tucker doesn't want to be a leader. Tucker doesn't want to feel powerful because Tucker doesn't class himself. I think Tucker is more of a man than Trump. I'll say that. He's more demonstrative of a man than Trump is, but Tucker's more of a man than Joe Rogan. She's name dropping Joe Rogan. Like, why? Why are all these podcasters? Are all these podcasters playing with like bot viewers and bot subs with their team, making them delusional, thinking that they actually have something actually going on when they really don't? Because all they do is talk shit about each other. And then there's lower channels that actually have reality being talked about. And instead, they think everybody's watching
which
these
is proven.
channels. If they are, then all they're doing is watching it for the drama. They're not watching it for the message. They're watching it to watch you guys in your drama.
By your next lines. Let's read on.
They have no idea what you guys are talking about. And then they're going to go talk to it about with people, and they're going to cause more drama, and then it's just chaos.
You continue, MAGA agrees with me, and Trump.
I don't need
in his prime, the whole world should see a stands that. Just okay,
so
Fox.
do I agree with her? I don't agree
to help
the way
you
she
understand. CNN. Tucker Carlson
Everything
is more
else I
by
agree
your
with it.
next,
Yeah,
and
'cause
just let
she's
know
just
that you don't
telling it
stand.
like it
CNN,
is.
none of us.
But for her to
what
say
you don't, and the
Tucker's more
world is
powerful than
because
Trump, that's
they
very
found, I think,
outlandish
escape
to me.
or half the whole world.
That's a bold claim.
Dreamed it, and to come aware.
And it's very false. When it comes to, is he a better man? Yes. Is he more powerful? Like I said, what aspect are you talking about? Trump's literally the president of the United States right now. He has control of the United States military. Like, he's powerful. That's when it comes to having more positive light bearers, I would put it, not negativity, not corruption. Tucker's is probably the clear winner. I don't know Tucker personally, so I'm not going to put judgment on him. I know what I've seen out of Trump, and he has displayed what he is, like on the surface of what you can identify him to be. Behind the scenes, he's probably way worse. You know what I mean? He's got a mask on when he's on TV, or he knows anybody's watching him. What's he doing when no one's watching him? Who's he talking to? What's he thinking of? What's he think about? But she should have said, instead of using the word powerful, she should have said Tucker's more of a leader and has a better following than you. Because that's the truth. I mean, that's why I said, what's power? What are we talking about?
That your base is comprised of blue collar workers.
Well, it doesn't matter what his base is. His base is based off whoever he says his base is. So,
who never went to college, many who never so much wanted.
And here they are
wanted to go to college, never dreamed it.
Want to go to any
the farmers, the ranchers, the plumbers, the electricians, the people who work with their hands. You
Einstein's math is broken.
Stick your nose up to all of those people.
Newton's.
Do you know who else didn't go to college? Charlie Kirk didn't go to college. Also, those men, many, I would say, a lot of the men and women that you and Pete Hegseth want to send to their deaths in the Middle East,
brain than a normal average human being.
Probably most of them didn't go to college.
The way he left
and
his,
let me be perfectly clear here when I say that each and every one of them is infinitely more
It's crash
smart,
formula,
and more
they
capable
implemented it
than you
into
and the people that you surround
PCs
yourself with in this moment.
like dummies.
But let's continue.
They're like, we
Because
don't
CNN
understand why
says you've got
PCs crash
100%
because
support.
it's literally a form of
You
crash,
write, or Megyn
using
Kelly,
energy to
who
crash.
nastily asked me the now famous only Rosie O'Donnell question, or who and said, and you and the people that you surround yourself in. Probably most of them didn't send to their deaths in the Middle East. A lot of the men and women that you do you know who else didn't go to college? Stick your nose up to all of those people. Do you know who else didn't go to college?
I would like to
Charlie
talk.
Kirk didn't go to college.
Who? Charlie Kirk? I always pause around the worst moment for her, don't I? I'm sorry.
Also,
but there it is again.
Those men, many, I would say, a lot of the men and women that you and Pete Hegseth want to send to college. And
there's another one. Melania dropped out of college, like, what, 6-7 months in? We just talked about this on the last episode. We did a full background check almost on Melania. Not a background check, but a basic check. She dropped out of school. She didn't really actually go to elementary or high school or middle school because she was apparently working in a fabric shop with her mom, plus modeling at a very young age. So when did she actually go to school? She doesn't sound like she has an education. She sounds like she's good at reading shit, and that's it. That's the thing. None of these guys running the show are educated. They've been using this AI system for over 100 years, especially with computers now, because computers can compute. Well, what should we do? Because I have no idea what to do. Let me ask you what I should do. I talk to AI all the time, and I ask it, like, what's our future plans? Like, what's Trump planning on doing? And this, I'm not talking about, like, this was, like, his plans before all this stuff went down, like, maybe a year ago. And it had to do with the PC industry and how they were going to bounce out of the AI bubble and the PC market bubble because of China raising the tariffs on us 600%. Like, these are legit questions. And the ideas that he brought up, that it said that he had planned and organized and ready to do, I literally processed them instantly, and I was like, well, this sounds really dumb. Why would he do this? And I told AI that. I was like, why would he do this? And then I talked it out only for like 2 minutes. And then it finally said, you make a lot of sense. And where did Trump get this information from? Well, he got it from China. So China trolled you. Trump needs to just admit that you when you're president, you don't have friends, buddy. Nobody wants to see you succeed. They don't want you to be the hero. They want to be the hero. Is he really this naive? There's no way he's this naive. Or did he really think he was going to be a messiah?
Let me be perfectly clear here when I say that each and every one of them is infinitely more smart and more capable than you and the people that you surround yourself with in this moment. But let's continue, because CNN says you've got 100% support. You write, or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me
I don't know who Megyn Kelly is exactly.
Now famous only Rosie O'Donnell question, or crazy
Rosie O'Donnell, she's just an actor.
Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected First Lady of France of being a man when she...
First Lady of France, pretty much self-explanatory. It doesn't need to be talked about. This is America. We always talk about America first this, make America great again, MAGA, this, that, this, America, this, that, this. Well, we always backtrack to, here we are, France. There are big problems in France and Britain. They've been dictating this country for a long time in this two-party system we got. I don't know what
and things and stuff with you when you go, just your soul. And you sold yours for what? Another gilded ballroom?
Anyone's controlling Donald Trump. Controlling? I think Trump knows that he is shit out of luck because he's in for more than he thought he could handle. He really thought, because things were going so smooth for him, and he thought, this is easy. Like, it was going to be like it always been for them. Because how it's always been for these people that are running the show, it's always been the same thing. That's always been the outcome. And now that's not the outcome. And that's where the state of confusion that you all kind of have, because the whole system's been exposed. It's continuing to get exposed. When you see them do anything live, they accidentally expose shit themselves. Lying has become out of the frequency. And quantum AI isn't real. Okay? Quantum physics, it's not a thing. It's just gaslighting physics. Even further than what physics gaslights reality. But it's not really gaslighting. It's all theoretical. But the quantum mechanics and physics and whatever they want to call it, what it basically is them collecting algorithmic data, just like we're doing. We're searching using the internet as we go. It's collecting our data, and it's training itself based on what we all do collectively. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys can go on like the job apps where you guys can find jobs at on your phone, and like snag a job or whatever it's called, whatever you use, whatever you can use. But if you go on there, like Indeed job search, you go on there, you can search AI training jobs where you can, like, if you're a chef or whatever, you can train a chef AI. And what does this AI do? Who knows? I don't know. But these are real jobs. You get paid to train AI modules and programming. And it's building coding programming. That's what AI is. It's just coding. It's algorithmic interpretation based off coding sequences of formulations. But it's all based on true false. That's the very first starting code, and then blasey spleasy after that. And they've turned every word, everything into math to have a representation of a number, a symbol, or a letter. So, well, not a letter, a number. Letters have numbers. Everything's turned into a number. It's very primitive. They always say, well, if aliens were going to talk to us, they'd talk to us in math. Why? No, instead, you guys are all programmed yourselves into math for some reason, and it's not very good math, I'll tell you that. Math kind of sucks. It actually doesn't kind of, it just does suck. I'll be right back. Okay.
Let me be perfectly clear when I say
Did he actually say anything about Candace other than the stuff about the lady? I'm not gonna really.
trouble.
I'm not gonna really watch Candace's response because it's kind of irrelevant. He only said one thing about you, and it's kind of irrelevant what he said. What would have made her look stronger is not responding to it. Let's just put it that way. Because what he said about her, it's kind of dumb anyway. What he said, period, I would have just, everybody should have just ignored it. Why not? Them. It was bad enough Melania used the White House platform just to try to scare tactic Europe. And I don't support Europe or Britain or London or whatever, UK, whatever you want to call them, at all. Because they're part of the root of the Zionist problem we have here. And this Jewish problem. with the Zionist Jewish things. They're the ones that keep creating it. Time after time after time again. Which is something I did see her do. She did a video in regards to Zionism. That's the thing. Here in America, you have freedom of religion, which means people are allowed to have freedom of speech, too. People make fun of religions here all the time. Us as Americans, we don't let it get to us. Was that really her? I would like to watch her content. It's just really hard for me to. I always fall asleep to it. Because she'll start talking about a story. I wish she had like 2 different versions. And that's why I'm doing mine the way I'm doing it. Because I do this live so that you guys get live, unaltered, unedited, what I say, how I think, without me saying, well, I didn't mean to say that. I'm live. I mean it. No takesy backsy, you see. And I just tell it like it is, and I tell the truth. I don't have to worry about what I gotta say, because as long as it's truthful, I don't have to think about it because I know it's right. Okay? I'm not a fan of this guy that did this. I don't think he's that funny as a comedian. That's just my personal opinion and what I've seen from him. I haven't seen much, so I just, from what I've seen, he's no Eddie Griffin. He's no Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm used to. I don't know much about him. Drewski. But I did see this, and it reminded me of the White Chicks, and I was thinking he should maybe collab with the Wayans brothers and do a White Chick sequel or maybe a little promo. That'd be funny. It was funny. This is funny. They ran their whole campaign like, yeah, we don't care. But she did a video. Zion. Here it is, right here.
I think Israel could do anything. I mean, I think Israel could.
Let me see if we can sum this up real fast. She doesn't have any thumbnails marked.
That sound moral to you? Right? Israel has the most moral army in the world. Does that sound moral to you? National sovereignty. Our kill God will bless. That's our best friend and ally, with a figurative and sometimes a and sodomizing children. Okay. But fortunately for them, country artist John Rich, and believe it or not, just a couple of weeks ago, they were talking about the Schofield Bible. Take a listen.
Have you ever heard of a Schofield Bible?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So C.I. Schofield was basically
other Christians. I don't wish to offend the people who made these notations. What inspired this Bible? There is this thing called the Schofield Bible. There is this thing called What is dispensationalism? What is it that these people believe? And so when I started doing the research, I went, aha, there is this thing called the Scofield Bible. Most people don't know because you're raised, you go to church, you go to Baptist church from the South, and you read the Bible, and the Bible's got notations, and then you have a pastor who's telling you what all of these verses mean, the King James Bible, and this is what this verse means, and take it to the bank. And you never stop and ask yourself, well, who made these notations? What inspired Scofield to make these notations? Of course, right when I had it on my heart to start speaking about this particular Bible, and it's taken me a lot of time because I don't wish to offend other Christians. I don't wish to offend the people who really a large part of everything that I've been through in this pull that brought me back to the Catholic faith, I owe.
Bring me back to the Catholic faith. So she was Catholic, then she became Christian, and now she's Catholic again? Is that what she's saying? There's so many different religions. It's stupid. You guys have turned religion into the Tower of Babel. Jesus Christ. Okay. So it's basically the beliefs in the Second Testament, right? The fairy tale. That's the thing, though. The King James Version is based off of the Second Testimony. And they claim, this is the funniest thing, AI will claim that it was starting to be written during Jesus's lifetime, which is very false. Totally false. I also think this is false. 1.5 billion members? I don't think so. I don't meet very many people that are even religious, but let alone, I haven't met very many people, period, that say they're Catholic. They either say they're something else. Not very many people claim to be Catholic. So what do they? They just believe in Jesus. This is the thing. What are you guys all scared because everything means the same thing and you realize it and you're like, what do we do? Well, maybe you should do what Iran's doing. They're going to war with the problem and they're basically saying, hey, we're making a stand, and whenever this shit's settled, because God's obviously exposing it all and he's got plans for us all, we want to be there when the plans get initiated, right? That sounds like what Iran's doing. I don't know. I mean, they weren't doing anything. They're still not doing anything. They're kind of just doing a defense. They're just defending themselves because they've basically been invaded. Well, by being attacked. They've been attacked first. That's not a lie. It's not a conspiracy theory. America attacked them first. And it doesn't matter what the excuse is. You attack them first. They're defending themselves. The attack against them was very, very primitive to them in their eyes because they unleashed a little taste of hell onto Israel and the United States within 3 days' time, 72 hours after the first missile launch. And I think the only thing that we destroyed was those schools. And we got the Ayatollah. Couple of them, or whatever you want to call them, the leaders. We don't even have any confirmation of that besides the first one. Like, where's the proof of the other ones, or proof that there is any? Like, how does the system even work? How does our system work? What happens if that happened here? Huh? What if everybody in the what if we went to war and that happened here and someone attacked Washington? Like we've been doing to them. Or like Ukraine did to Russia and Putin attacking Moscow with drones. You got drones and then you got orbs. Sunballs, basically. So, he didn't really say anything about Candace, like I said. She's Catholic now, I guess, basically. Just like everybody else. 2,000 years to Jesus Christ and his apostles, including baptism. Why do you guys want to believe in this? Like, what's so wrong with the First Testament? Is it too harsh for you guys? Too harsh for your little fairy tale realities? You really think this is reality? This isn't. You guys don't understand any of the books anyway. If you did, this is the thing. The proof that everyone so commonly, casually jumps back and forth on their beliefs, you're basically all atheist. If you guys can so casually choose this, everything you do in life is about choice. When it comes to beliefs, that's different, okay? You're not supposed to be able to change what you believe in because that's the whole point of believing in it. Get it? You can't be swayed from being changed from it. You'll die on that belief. And that's the problem with all these big names, all these leaders, is they are cowards and they don't believe in anything. They believe with whatever the narrative of what makes them money is. That's the simple truth. It's reality. That's why they all comment on each other. You're basically watching a cycle of themselves having debates with each other, talking with their friends online instead of on the phone, actually doing something productive about it. No, they just want to talk about it on YouTube. Make money and profit off of it. Most of them don't own some of them don't own property. They own property in the United States, but they don't live here. They live outside the United States. Some of them do. So make that make sense. It makes no sense. He only got 5 likes on this. Anyways. We got it fairly early when he did it, didn't we?
A large part of my career to so many Christians around the world who have supported me from the very beginning. And so I've struggled with how to have this conversation. And I realized that there is no right moment to tell people the truth. And of course, at the moment that I made up my mind to tell people the truth, I then saw that Tucker Carlson had on John Rich, the country artist John Rich. And believe it or not, just a couple of weeks ago, they were talking about the Scofield Bible. Take a listen.
Have you ever heard of a Scofield Bible?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, but here's the thing. And how Zionists funded the Scofield Bible.
So C.I. Scofield was basically a student of John Darby, and he adopted that part of the doctrine, and he incorporated that into the Bible. It was the first Bible ever made that had study notes with it. We have all kinds of Bibles now that have, concordances and study notes and all kinds of stuff that go along, but this was the first one that was ever made. It became so popular. Every Christian was reading it. Every minister was reading it. And this continues today, to this exact second. My own dad, when he went in seminary and was, wanting to become a minister, they said, make sure you have a Scofield Bible now when you come to class. Have your Scofield Bible. Scofield Bible also adopted that entire John Darby philosophy of Christians will not be here when the bad stuff starts to happen. And most Christians still believe that. Matter of fact, a lot of my friends that are Christians are going to watch this interview are probably right now going, hang on a minute. Now, hang on. So this is pushing back against a doctrine that's been in existence now for coming up on 200 years. The problem with that doctrine is there's several places in the Bible.
How is it 200 years, right? If it's in the King James Version about them God commanding anyone that if they catch a Jew identifying as anybody from Zion or Zionism, that they are to be stoned to death. It's literally in the King James Version. And it also references Zion as the main representation of Baal and Moloch from the original Testament. But nobody wants to read that book because that book's scary, right? But that book is what reality actually is. It's just not mystical like it used to be because they've numbed everyone down so bad. The mystic shit is all extinct. That's why you have museums full of all the crap. That's why you make movies of the past, of the ancestries. Make mockery out of it. It's sad. You turn your systems like it's just crazy. I can't even talk about it.
Bible, where it talks about what's going to happen prior to.
What happened 200 years ago is AI got invented, and they're like, hey, let's just incorporate this into everything.
Jesus Christ coming back to the earth. When he does come back, that is when what we call the rapture happens. The word rapture is nowhere in the Bible. It talks about us being caught up with him and pulled out of here, and then the ultimate wrath is poured out on this planet. That's what we call the rapture. So that's not in debate. The question is, what happens leading up to that? It's a good question to ask, right?
No, the question is, why do you believe this?
For some reason, nobody ever preaches that. They don't want to talk about what all happens prior to it. So if I can I just read if we have time? That's why I love the thought of this. The rapture happens. It's the inverse of what John Darby put down.
I didn't know that, but somehow I'm not surprised even.
Verse of what John Darby put down. We believe too. But when you start actually going back and reading line by line by line what is said that will be leading up to Jesus coming back, which is when the rapture happens, it's the inverse of what John Darby put down.
I didn't know that, but somehow I'm not surprised even a little bit.
And there's more, by the way. There's actually a lot more. And I'm grateful that John said all of this publicly. And I'm definitely going to have him on the show to talk about this at length. And he said a lot of important things there. So what happened is, like I've said to you many times, history is just being erased second by second. You guys have no concept of what was happening in this country in the early 19th century. I had no concept, by the way. I don't even want to speak to you as if I'm so educated that I know more than you, because I thought all the same things that everybody thought.
I didn't. That's the thing. You guys are all brainwashed. That's the thing. I want to talk to Candace about I want to talk to her about some real shit, because she brought up something that's real, and at least she's admitting, like, I didn't know. I was brainwashed, you know. Look at her. She looks sincere. She looks sad, and she has that little kid look in her eyes again, like she's ready to learn. And I find that honorable. Like, think about it. Think about finding everything's a lie, and you get to learn again from scratch, but you get to train yourself this time. It's like being reborn again. Get it?
I thought that what I was learning in church was real and was authentic and was the true history. And it really
it's not
took
just history, Candace. It's math. It's everything. It's the entire foundational system from the last 3,500 years. That's why the Vatican won't release past 3,500 years, because then it really starts showing everybody what this whole Zionist Jewish thing really truly was, and how devastating it was, and how it caused the Ice Age 10,000 years ago, plus 10,000 plus years ago.
I was in study with a priest actually last year, and he looked up to me and he said, you Americans know nothing. You just know nothing. And he said, you don't even know that your country was founded by a bunch of Freemasons. Freemasons went there and they were battling for America. And someone won, right? One of the Freemason groups won America. And the truth of the matter is that the Catholic Church was approached by Zionists, and it was approached by Theodore Herzl in Italy. He went over.
This is a thing nobody gets. All these same places, all these things were created all on the same day the Founding Fathers did their Declaration of Independence. So it's very coincidental that two different Freemason societies, one in France, one in Britain, both got created on the same exact year that the Founding Fathers founded America, the Declaration of Independence, and all that blasey-spleasy. Same exact year. A lot of secret societies were created. The largest one got supposedly collapsed, but supposedly the big one supposedly came over here, but they didn't. The big one became Napoleon's war and Napoleon's army. Whoever's the Messiah gets to choose the greatest secret society that there is, because they know the most. It's our turn. I think that's what they do. But who's their Messiah? Is it Trump? Is Trump ready to sacrifice himself for the planet? Or what's he doing? What's his plan? Is he going to be like Jesus and sacrifice himself? Or does he want to be like Zion and, I don't know, pretend it's Jesus and Joshua at the same time? That makes no sense. That's what Zion wanted to do. They wanted to combine everything together and be like, yeah, we're just going to make it one. And they're like, no, we're not doing that. That's stupid. It's too totally. If we were going to do that, we would have just got rid of the Old Testament and kept the new and said, fuck the old. There's a reason that they didn't get rid of the old. There's a reason that Russia still follows the Quran. There's a reason that China just doesn't even choose to believe, because it's none of their religions to begin with. So they just have spiritual believing within themselves, which is good. So does Indians and Hinduism. They're kind of like the lighter version of China's beliefs. Almost the same, though. It's the same pathway. But when it comes to light side barriers, I hate to say it, though, the only ones that are here that are kind of leaning towards the light is China and Hindu. So, yeah, Hindu or, yeah. It's pretty bad. The rest is all the same. Just retranslated to sound differently so that you accept it. It's a simple truth of the matter. That's why a lot of words are removed from the first to the second. And then a lot more are removed from the second to the King James Version. And then a lot are added as well. See? I don't know.
Theodore Herzl, the person that they credit with founding Israel, and he wanted the Catholic Church to support them taking over Israel. Now, this is before World War II, guys. We're talking about 1904. And the Catholic Church told Theodore Herzl to kick rocks. And that was a problem for the Christians. Were not going to support them taking over Israel. So they hatched up a plan. They said, well, if we can't get the Catholics to support us, we certainly can get the Protestants to support us. And they funded, and I'm referring to Zionists, funded the Schofield Bible. Schofield himself was actually a horrible man. He was drunk. There was the story about us. If we can't, and that was a problem for the Christians. Were not going to support them. 1904 over Israel. Now, the person that they credit with founding Israel, and he wanted the Catholic Church to support them taking over Israel. Now, this is before World War II, guys. We're talking about 1904. And the Catholic Church told Theodore Herzl to kick rocks. And that was a problem for the...
Britain had the whole plan of Zionism typed up in 1884, 1883. They created the whole Zionist movement for World War I recruitment purposes, promising anyone who was Jewish that would fight in the war and after the war effort would basically get Palestine, because it was under British control territory back then in the 1800s. See where the connection is? See where the promises really was? And they wrote it into the Bible like it was legit. No.
Christians were not going to support them
That's the thing about
taking
Britain.
over Israel.
They're writing the Bible.
So they hatched up a plan. They said, well, if we can't get the Catholics to support us, we certainly can get the Protestants to support us. And they funded, I'm referring to Zionists, funded the Schofield Bible.
All the Bibles are Zionist. The Schofield Bible is irrelevant. It really is. No one uses the Schofield Bible, even if they did. It doesn't matter what form of Bible or whatever you use. It's all Zion. It's just worded differently. Jesus means ball. It really does. It means Hail Zeus. Hail Zeus means ball. It's ball. It's all the same gods. That's what you guys don't get. You can't just, well, I'm going to go to this one. Well, it's the same thing. How? Because they wrote it that way. Purposely. It's not an accident. It's definitely not an accident. So please don't think it is. And Iran knows of this. Why do you guys think so many people are jumping to the Quran right now? Because it's the safest one to be on right now. Ever think of that? When it comes to God's judgment right now, the Quran's probably the safest one, leading towards not worshiping Baal and Moloch. I'm not religious. So that's up for you guys to decide. I know where I stand with God. Me and him are one and the same.
Schofield himself was actually a horrible man. He was drunk. There was the story that you hear about him coming to an aha moment. No, he left his wife and kids and basically somehow landed in Dallas, where he met some Freemasons. They introduced him.
See, she's not giving accurate. She's just talking at this point. Just talking to talk. Let's see. Okay. So I was reading something. Okay.
You know, we've been just as bad as any other country as about causing trouble in places, you know?
And for whose benefit? Who has benefited from that? All of the stuff we did in the Middle East, who's benefited from that? The answer is Israel.
Like, I'm kind of conflicted.
What's Israel? That's the thing. Everybody's confused by what reality still is. And they think they've kind of figured it out, and they haven't. Anyways.
Why are the
what he said about all these people, I have no idea. I guess
why are
she's
the
waiting
loudest
till
people
I
against
guess I
this
do know
war
who she is.
some podcast?
So this is where we just heard from the vice president.
Canceling Michaela because she's chopped in person is crazy. Crazy.
Your favorite influencers that you look up to and you think that they're gorgeous most of the time are ugly.
Does anyone else notice that the real pretty people on social media aren't that pretty in real life?
Nobody looks the same online as.
Not sure if you saw this going viral. It is amazing.
I'm not even talking about this stuff being fake. What other stuff?
Ready to file your personal income?
So no, I've never wanted to kill cats.
Anyways, I'm gonna call it a night. I thought she was gonna have something different. Her Zionism ideology is kind of, I don't know. She knows what she found, but there's more to it than that. It's all it has to do with Britain.
The International Court of Justice specifically said that Israel is not committing a genocide.
I would say that Mr. Shmuley is suffering from what I would call a Judeo-dementia. By virtually every dimension you examine it, the intensity.
He sounds like, what's his face, the famous actor.
No.
But I'm gonna get off here for the night. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I mean, we didn't really go over anything in particular. I thought there was gonna be more information based off what Candace said, but there wasn't. I'm always looking for somebody who understands, but I would love to talk to her about that whole Charlie Kirk time travel thing. See what she really has to say about that. Tucker seems like he's just been kind of laying low. Ian Carroll, he did something terrible. Talked to not Sean Ryan. Talked to some guy in regards to how he spends thousands of dollars on AI. They got an AI created for him that only picks, like, he's been duped. You've been scammed, buddy. All we use is basic AI, and it's not hard. If you're having problems, there's something wrong with you. It's not the system you're using, it's you. But anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Till then, take care. Seek truth. It's all about that truth.